645 sailors were lost when the HMAS Sydney 2 was sunk off the coast of Western Australia in 1941. And these brave men were being commemorated in the inaugural HMAS Sydney Cup 2 between the Swans and Eagles. A minute's silence was observed before two sides with a magnificent history of rivalry began their modern-day battle. The Swans drawing first blood, Daniel Bradshaw going back-to-back.
Started that a little left and bent it back nicely. He's got two, he's got the only two.
Before an opportunistic Aston Hams replied for West Coast.
Aston Hams, first goal in AFL footy.
With the Eagles on the back foot, Josh Kennedy stood tall and delivered in his 50th match.
To pull this margin back and drills it with 3 minutes left to quarter time.
It was Sydney, though, with the edge. And dual Brownlow medalist Adam Goodes duly reminded his opponents.
He's in Brownlow contention again this year after a best on-ground game last week, Adam Goodes.
But with sequences like this, the margin should have been bigger for the Swans, and it was Sydney's poor goal kicking keeping the Eagles in the game.
They're struggling with that breeze at that end.
Kieran Jack's persistence finally paying off for Jude Bolton.
Hands off, Jude Bolton should drill it.
Jack then going in for one of his own.
Runs to 49, sends a drop punt goalward. Sensational!
Nick Natanui showed why he's so dangerous. The young ruck prodigy setting up Matt Priddis.
That's what we came for. Gives off the Priddis. Instant reply coming up.
While Dean Cox's boot after the half-time siren narrowed the deficit to 22. And just when the Eagles began clawing their way back...
Not bad off the boot.
Jack came charging.
There's a big collision here. Spangers down.
The pain becoming harder when Jesse White and Brett Kirk dug in their boots.
Kirk from 40. 2 in a row.
Speaking of pain, it wasn't looking good for Craig Bolton. Natanui providing West Coast some reprieve.
And he gets plenty on that. That is long and strong.
It was short-lived. Bradshaw notching up his fourth.
He's on track for his biggest bag for the Swans.
The Swans entering the final quarter with a 32-point buffer. Heath Shaw adding a bit more fat.
Open hand handball. Shaw finishes it off.
Shannon Hearn pegging one back, despite the ball appearing to touch the padding.
Has it hit the post?
I reckon it's hit the post.
While Bradshaw could do no wrong, a quick snap provided Kennedy his third.
Against the run of play.
From there on, it was all Sydney. Bradshaw with his biggest haul in Swans colours.
Nice off the boot. Spears that through.
It wasn't just the scoreline going against the West, but history. The Eagles haven't won at the SCG since 1999. Sydney ensuring history repeated itself as the Swans celebrated their fourth straight win. Daniela Rintilli, Big Pond Sport.